Well, we are here for our last hour. Okay, this is always a bittersweet time every year because it's like I sit there and I know that you know what we're done. I've got goosebumps right now. I'm sitting here thinking, woohoo, we made it another year. So I'm proud. I'm extremely happy about that. I'm going to go on ahead and bring in my brother, my friend, Jeremy. How you doing, Jeremy?
I am really tired, just like you are.
Yeah, yeah. It's been a day, but you know, Jeremy, a couple of things that I wanted to bring up. All right, we asked a lot of the guests today, and anybody who's watching us right now, I'd love for you to pipe in on this. I'd love to get your opinion on this. You just saw what the come together compass can be. Okay, you saw what the plan is, but that doesn't mean it's complete. If there was something, and please put your comments in the chat and help us out here. If there was something that you could add to the come together compass to make sure that we were able to help everyone, what would that be? Help us. This is something that is here for all of us. And Jeremy, we've already got we've got some suggestions, like ask questions. And there is a question and response uh, portion the uh, to the form. So there's actually a believe it or not, there is going to be a AI component that's going to help people with like breathing exercises and journaling, which I know is something that you utilize a form of journaling.
Mhm.
And so and I know that you find it completely relaxing, and it helps you concentrate and stay on within your head. So I think that's great. One of the other things it's asking us to make sure that we add to that is a way that we can check in with people. And I think that's a great idea. I think what we can do is we can sit there and add a reminder button to where it says, hey, you know what? Maybe we should check in on this person like once a week. They were kind of struggling. They were kind of down. They were kind of, there looked like there might have been a little bit of a problem. Let's go on ahead and let's check in with them like every week just to make sure they're okay. Believe it or not, I have already got one of those on my calendar that I check in with somebody every 2 weeks just because ever since I've known him, he's had a problem with anxiety. And I just want to make sure he's okay. He's my brother, he's my friend. I've known him since we were kids. I love the guy and I would hate for anything to happen to him. So I think that check-in is something that we should really do. One of the other things that people have suggested was finding a way that it can help people communicate with each other.
We got social media for that. We have text messages. There are so many different ways now that we can be able to communicate with each other. Text messages, emails, um, instant message, or just the old fashioned telephone call.
I I caution people a lot of times when there's problems. I caution people on texting because texting is one of those things that it leaves a lot open to translation, if you understand what I'm saying there. People misread,
Like context.
right, all the time. And well, what the hell are you talking about? Have a nice day. What are you? What is that? What kind of condescending BS is? I was saying have a nice
Have
day.
a point. I can see it from that point.
So I really caution people on texting when there's a serious problem. And I know that there are some people who like to communicate texting in that way. I know that one of my brothers, he does not like phone calls. He hates phone calls, just hates them. And, it's hard to get him on the phone call. So, but so if I need to reach out to him, I text him because he won't answer his damn phone. And is what it is. But I'm
I,
very, very short and specific with what I say to him.
yeah. Um, I have a couple suggestions of my own.
Yeah, go for it.
So I know a lot of people buy little desk calendars where you rip
Yep.
off one page a day, and each page has an inspirational saying on it,
Yep.
or it'll have like a Bible verse. So I think something like that. Maybe even have. I'm pretty sure there's an app out there where it just automatically gives you inspiration of the day or even word for the day.
Yep. Well, yeah, and you've also got something like Amazon, or like the this little machine here that I'm not going to say its name because I don't want it to talk to me. Um, but you can train it to do that same thing. I would never put. I like the idea of putting inspirational quotes, but I would never put. And it just blinked. It knew I was talking about it.
You don't even have to say his name.
Yeah, it's like I
Already
know.
there. It hears you.
I know you're talking about me, Zach. You
Uh,
freak. But I would never put Bible verses on there just because we want to be equal to every religion, and so we would be very, very particular on that. But
so,
then again, there are some Bible verses that I think are just amazing. I also think there are some things that are said in the Quran that are amazing. You
well,
know,
that's another thing that can be looked into is like let like say you have the app. Okay, do you want um, do you want a Catholic phrase of the day? Do you want a Buddhist phrase of the day? Do you want
that's actually really not a bad idea.
yeah,
And
have something for each religion and have the different phrases associated with that religion.
yeah, and that would also go along really well with the suggestion from Susan and Les Simpson earlier when they mentioned that there are churches out there that help families. If now I don't like this particularly. Okay, they help families, but they help Christian families. I'm not a fan of that. I'm really not. Religions are supposed to be there to accept everyone, you know, uh, like real religions are supposed to be there to accept everyone and help everyone. I have never heard of, and I've never been a huge reader of the Bible, but I have never read any Bible verse that said, Jesus says you should help thee, but not he. you know, I've never, I don't remember that ever being there. So, but,
If if we're going to be completely honest about this, Christianity, well, Christian people can be the most judgmental people you'll ever meet.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Jeremy, one of my favorite bumper stickers I ever saw said, God, please help me from your followers, or please save me from your followers. That was the funniest bumper sticker next to get out of my way, my kid's got to pee. Okay. But
Well, I got to.
Yeah, well, this one said, "Get out of my way, my kid's got to pee," and that's just funny because one time when we were driving back from Kansas, and Justice was a little boy at that point in time, and boy, he was doing the pee pee dance in front of the. I thought he was going to take and open the cooler door and pee in it. He had to go.
I I
So,
actually have a really funny story to go along with that. Um, it there were three of us. So I was driving my car, and I had Tim and Crystal in their own car behind me. They were following me to a location that we were investigating, and Tim, he has to take certain medications, and it
mhm.
makes him have to pee all the time. Um, and we were on this hour-long trip from the one place that we went to, because we stopped somewhere else en route to where we were going. And I'm I'm looking in my rear view mirror, and I see him. He's driving, and I see him just kind of like bouncing up and down, and he's doing everything he can to not go. I could see Crystal laughing laughing at him. Um,
doing the super powerful pee pee dance, huh?
while he was driving.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Uh,
So
how
I
he
know, I know, being an over the road trucker, man, there were times that you had to get pretty inventive when you were in the middle of nowhere. I found out, Jeremy, that I had a intolerance to chocolate milk when I was a truck driver. Okay. And I found that out when I was in the middle of nowhere, Texas. And there wasn't a town around me for another hour and a half.
jeez.
And my gut exploded on me, and I had to figure out what I was going to do. And yeah, so that's when I found out that Zach's gut grew up to not like chocolate milk very much. It doesn't stop Zach from not drinking it, but that's because Zach is a moron. But I mean,
But
but
Zach likes what Zach likes.
yeah, he sure as hell does, cherry sodas. Oh, by the way,
Thing.
check it out. Blackberry. All right, I mixed it up on you.
Wow.
Blackberry Dr. Pepper, man, awesome stuff.
I remember the last day I was there. It seemed like you had 12 cherry colas sitting around and down there.
Yeah, and they were all different kinds too. Cherry Sprite, or cherry 7 Up, cherry Diet Pepsi, cherry, you know, uh, well, yeah, cherry everything. Now I got pineapple and blackberry, so you know, trying to mix things up. But yeah, some of the and I do, Jeremy. I don't want to discount your idea. I think that that's really a good idea, because if we could set, hey, look, I would prefer, you know, like I would prefer uh, Muslim faiths or Jewish faiths, because look, when it comes to certain faiths, there's certain dietary restrictions anyway.
Yeah.
So so that actually, it
And,
makes sense.
and also, another way to look at it is somebody could download this app, and let's say they're Christian.
Yep.
You know what? I think I would like to see from the Buddhist point of view, and select that. And they can change it day to day.
Oh, I would be doing that. I would be doing that. Like I was saying, in the last hour. One of the things that I love to do is the first Monday morning of the month, we do a celebration of faith, is what it's called, and on Footprints Forward, which means it's on your channels as well. And we do a show where I take and I use everything that I've got, and we talk about the different religions and different celebrations of religions that are out there. And I will tell you this, as a person who has grown up in a Christian household, I have never in my life known that there are that many Christian celebrations. There's so far this year, we've had about 35 Christian celebrations. So, and
Barely been 35 days in the year already.
yeah, pretty much. But I mean, yeah, well, hey, you know what? It, and it's actually kind of funny because you forget that Valentine's Day was named after a saint.
Yep.
And
We actually covered that
yeah,
in
I do remember that now. I do remember hearing you say that. But yeah, after Saint Valentine, and it's weird because Jeremy, we've grown up all these years hearing about how Valentine's Day was just, it's just a holiday built by Hallmark to sell goddamn cards and stuff like.
it is now.
Yeah, I seriously think I had talked myself into believing that.
Well, the thing is that the commercialization has gotten so overboard in the last couple of decades. It's that people they are forgetting the true meanings.
Mhm.
Well, eventually, I think the same thing is going to happen with Christmas. That they are going to be celebrating Santa Claus and Frosty and forget about Jesus.
Yeah, and see, but that's, to me, that's one of those, and we really did a good job this year. I hate the fact that we had all the broadcasting problems with the miracle of the season this last year. But I went through and I
I
was
remember.
talking about all of the celebrations, everything from Yule to, Festivus, to all those things, from where it started way back, in pre-civilization days, as Yule, up to, modern Christmas, and the building of that, and getting into Hanukkah, and getting into Kwanzaa, and Chinese New Year, and all these other things, getting into all of those celebrations. And I really enjoyed doing that. And it was weird how at one point in time, when it comes to Christmas, Christians really tried to make and take everything out. This is Jesus's birthday. That's it. No celebrations, none of this other stuff.
That's how
And
some
then they realized, oh, not a good idea. People don't like this very much. And they started incorporating like the Christmas tree back in it. And, which I still find it funny that the Christmas tree comes from Germany. I had no idea.
I had. Well, that's where the old Christmas tree. The original lyric is "O Tannenbaum,"
Nah.
and that's German.
Yeah.
There was a guy years ago that I bowled with. I hadn't talked to him in a while, but he is devout Christian. And around Christmas time, we were talking about it, and I had made mention, with the way things are now, you have Jesus and Santa so intertwined that you can't have one without the other anymore for Christmas. And he said, that's not true. It's all about Jesus. Nothing else matters.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's not how it is. I know that's your personal belief,
Yeah.
but in reality, that's just not how it is.
And honestly, this going back to what I was talking with Kat, if that's his freedom of
I was
religion,
so glad that you were able to get her on because
yeah,
she had been struggling on getting a hold of you. She was actually thinking of something else. Uh,
yeah,
and so I told her that on Thursday I had done a final reach out message to all the show hosts, and I tagged you so that if anybody had any questions or wanted information or wanted to try to schedule something, to click on your name in that comment that I made. And I'm real glad she did, because she had a show. Her Fate magazine radio show is on Sundays. So I
Yeah.
talked to her a couple months ago about preempting it for this event, and I explained to her what the event was, and that's when she told me that she would like to be a part of it.
It really made me feel good, Jeremy, because we've been working on this now for 4 years, as we've stated before. And I look at the screen right now and it says that we have 7 viewers. And you know what, 7 viewers? That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome. That
And
is so
we
cool.
even have a comment on one of the
Yeah, yeah. I
two
just I
comments
just
now.
noticed that. So yeah, living Alaska, my very first guest this morning. Okay, this gentleman this morning, he started by saying, "Yeah, my family was just in an accident." This is 2:30 Mountain Time, okay? My family was in an accident. My wife hit a moose.
Oh, you know what? 25 years ago, um, me and my parents and I, we were up in the Yellowstone Park, and we almost hit a moose.
Yeah.
And I tell you, those things are so big. I
Oh,
mean,
they're majestic. They're
yeah,
beautiful. I'm pretty sure Scott's sitting there going, "Yeah, I don't want to see no more." You know, he, but
I
yeah,
had no idea those things would be so tall.
yeah. The first one I saw, Jeremy, he was in a mud bog up in the mountains, and he was huge. Okay, I only saw half of him. He stepped out of that mud bog, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Yeah, that's exactly. And then we're sitting there at our camp, and then all of a sudden, um, oh, that's that doesn't surprise me that the trooper had to come and put it down. Those things don't die easy, and your car is not a match. I remember hearing when I was driving truck that if you see a moose, you might as well just hit it, but pray before you make contact, because that moose is going to kill you.
Yeah, because I would be afraid that all it would have to do is lower its head, and the antlers can come right through the windshield.
Well, yeah, yeah, and I'm talking a big rig. I was in a big rig, and they tell you, look, if you're going to hit a moose, you're going to, you better be prepared to get hurt. So those things will take on the rigs. They don't care, you know. But I remember driving into Maine, and it was the first time I had ever seen a moose crossing sign. I'm here in Colorado. I see deer crossing all the time. Okay. But I had to take a double take because it said moose crossing. And I was like, it was seriously one of those times, Jeremy, when you sit there and you go,
Is this a joke?
yeah, do 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 do.
The Twilight Zone.
Yeah, it was.
Okay,
It
okay. So,
freaked
so
me
right
out.
there, we're talking about the state of Maine, the state that gave us Stephen King. Enough said right there.
Yeah. Is your wife okay though, Scott? Is your family okay? Did they walk out unscathed? That's actually, I meant to, and I'm sorry, brother. I've been so
It's
blitzed today.
been a
But is
long
your
week with
is
him.
yeah, is your family okay? That's really what I wanted to know. But
Pretty sure, pretty sure his total radiator and engine are done. Yeah, I would say if
yeah,
it's
yeah.
done, I was done.
So yeah, that's just nasty. But yeah, like I said, it was weird. My first guest of the morning, he's kind of a little shaken, and he's just sitting there, and you can tell that something had happened, and he was like, Yeah, sorry, man. I just got the news that my family was in an accident. I'm like, oh, they're okay. And he go, yeah, they just hit a
Also, he was
moose.
on
I was like,
camera with you.
what's that?
He was on camera with
Yeah,
you.
he was on camera with me when he came on, and he goes, "Yeah, my family's just was in an accident." And I'm like, going, "Okay, do you have to go?" And he goes,
Woo.
um, "Yeah, they're fine. They just hit a moose." That's exactly how he said it too. I was like, "Going, they just hit a moose? That's not like they just ran over a freaking mouse." Okay, uh, yeah,
No, it'd be like running over a mouse. It's just that the moose running over the mouse hitting the car.
yeah, and that was the other thing that we talked about this morning is it was -20, and they, miles away from civilization and in -20 weather. So, well, Scott, please make sure that you send them our love and support, and make sure that they understand that they're in our thoughts. So, but and brother, thank you very much for being with us all day long. Scott has been with me pretty much from the beginning. Okay, he's been on here. He's been commenting all day long. He's gone through some shit, man. He got hurt in service of this country, and he's he's battling. He's battling, and
Is this the one that you were telling me about earlier today?
yes, yes.
Wow. Yeah, I definitely want to hear some of those things that he had to say.
Yeah. Just go back and look at some of those comments from earlier, and he pulls no punches, and that's fine. And they shouldn't look. Nobody should have to pull punches because they're not getting the care that they need. Scott and I was the first, our conversation this morning was the first one where we brought up that look, there should no longer be an ability to tie bill, any additional bill with medical care for our veterans. Medical care for our veterans should be standalone only. There should be, I think we should put it in the Constitution. There cannot be anything else tied to VA and veteran medical care. Nothing else, because there cannot be an argument against it because they're voting out something else.
Right. Yeah. And that happens so many times up there
Yeah,
on the Hill. You want to pass this one bill, but holy cow, the other side. It doesn't matter which side it is. The other side wants to add 10 other things. That okay, if you want this passed, we want these. Because I remember that happening during COVID when the Republicans were trying to pass something to. Um, I don't remember what it was like to help out with like rent or something like that. But the Democrats wanted things for like Nigeria or whatever that had nothing to do with what they wanted to accomplish.
well, and see, that's what they're going to do every single time, Jeremy, is that they're going to sit there and they're going to tie on something that's going to tug on everyone's heart, and it's going to make the other side look like shit. Quite frankly, it's just going to make the other. Well, can you believe that they voted this bill down? Well, they voted the bill down because you wanted a $30,000 a year increase in your salary.
Right.
That's what they voted down. Right now, we're threatening to shut down government, and people are and these guys are saying, "But I deserve a $30,000 raise." That stuff gets in there all the time. And see, that stuff should no longer, and we all need to write our Congress people today. Well, not today. It's getting late today. Okay, not today. Get some rest.
Technically, it's early morning for me.
Well, yeah. For you guys, I've still got 25 minutes of today, but
Yeah. Right.
and guess what? I ain't doing it today. But we
Uh,
all need to
I
get together, and I would say the first thing that we should do together is we should get together and put together a petition that says all VA votes have to be standalone, because this is ridiculous that we are allowing them to come in with these other pissanty bills and screw our heroes. And
what
that's
what
what
needs to
they're
be
doing.
put in is uh, not just VA being standalones. I think that if you serve your country, and really this should go for every country in the world, if you serve your country, once you're out and you go home, you should have free medical care for the rest of your life. And it doesn't even have to be something that is a result of what happened in during your time. Like, for example, I'm going to use my dad. He was in the Marine for 4 years. He wears dentures. Right now, the VA will not cover anything dental wise because him losing his teeth is not a result of a war or a result of his time in the service. So everything is out of pocket for him. You
Yep.
know what? We need to pass something so that he can get all of that for free. All of the veterans can get free dental care, free whatever, anything medical. Because if your dentures don't fit you right, you still got to eat.
Yeah. Jeremy, the other day I had a titanium screw out of my face.
Adrian was telling me about that.
So, one
And
of the
I was
plates in
like,
my
well, thank
face.
you very much, Adrian. Now I know what I get to look forward to.
Yeah. I had, yeah, that was so weird. But, Jeremy, one of my favorite patches of all time said that there is no United States American veteran that should ever have to pay property tax.
I can agree with that.
I absolutely agree with that. They fought for
Actually,
this land. Even if they didn't fight, they served for this land. They raised their hands.
the thing is, property taxes shouldn't even exist in the first place.
Well,
Once you
you know,
pay off your mortgage, you should be free and clear.
well, you should, but
Especially considering the amount of interest you paid over 30 years or however long.
and and see, actually, Scott, I was just going to bring up this point right here. We talk, or there's a lot of talk right now about less than 1% of 18-year-olds sign up now. Less than 1% sign up for the for service. Look how they're treated. Why would they sign up?
Right.
You
But you
get
know what?
better benefits if you go to work at McDonald's. You get better pay.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, because less than 1% of 18-year-olds signing up, or any age for that matter, eventually they're going to reinstitute the draft, and that's just going to cause another set of issues for this country.
Yep. Yep. It
Things are so bad right now.
Look, things are a shit show right now, but things are always a shit show. The thing is that we need to, you know, the truth is the truth. We all need to make sure that, look, if you want a voice, you have to get out and vote.
Right.
If you and I don't care. Okay, so I do care which side you vote for, but I don't care which side you vote for. It's not my vote; it's your vote. But you have to get out and do it. Yeah,
Right.
and again, I am a firm believer in you don't vote, you don't talk. Don't bitch about things happening if you don't vote.
Right. Um, I when I was on the honor flight going to Washington with Dad, and I was sitting next to another guardian. He he was. I don't know if I told you the story about him, but he's part of a local church here, and he was working on different language translations for the Bible, so that one language doesn't try to push a certain ideal based on that language against an ideal of the other. Like he's trying to make everything as um, neutral as possible. He doesn't vote, and his reasoning is he doesn't want to give anybody the illusion that he's given them the permission to rule over him. He's saying that if he votes, that means I'm okay with you ruling over me. You know what? If you don't vote, they're still going to rule over you.
Yeah, and all he's done is he's taken his voice out of what is being said.
Right.
And look, the honest to God's truth is I don't like the way that things are done. I think the electoral college is corrupt. I don't like it. I think that it ought to be abolished, and we ought to go with the straight out vote. One for one. I don't think that Colorado every year should be a blue, state just because that's the way it. Just because Boulder and Denver vote that way. Um, you know, uh, I don't think that Texas should be a red state every year just because that's the way that the people with the money want it to go that way. And that's really how that happens. Where the big money is in states, those are what makes a difference on how people vote.
The way that I have read about with the electoral college is, yeah, the people go in and vote, and the person over those counties or the person over the whole state puts in their vote, and that's the vote that counts. But they are supposed to do it based on what everybody else is voting for. However, there have been several instances over the years where the person who is the electoral voter gone against the people of the state,
Yeah,
and they get that title of faithless, um, faithless something. I electoral. No.
yeah. But see, you know, it's a corrupt system when 10 minutes after the polls close, they can call it for a state.
I am so glad you said that. I have seen calls for state at 3%.
Yep, yep. Fox News is calling this for is calling Democrat for Colorado, and it's 7:02 p.m. And it's
Okay,
like, what?
here we go. I put in faithless electors, and the first thing that came up with faithless electors in the 2016 U.S. presidential. So let's see. Recorded fate. So in Hawaii, one person was pledged to Hillary Clinton, but ended up voting for Bernie Sanders. Um, Two in Texas, they both were supposed to pledge. They both were pledged to Donald Trump, but one voted for Ron Paul, and the other voted for John Kasich.
Oh, Cossack, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then four in Washington. All four of them was pledged to Hillary Clinton. Three of them voted for Colin Powell, and the other one, Faith Spotted Eagle.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, those were the validated faithless electors, and then there were three invalidated, one in Maine, one in Minnesota, one in Colorado. All three of them were pledged to Hillary Clinton. Two of them ended up voting for Bernie Sanders, and the other one for Kasich.
Wow. So,
Holy
you know what, Jeremy? I'm going to give my salutes to everyone now, and take the last 15 minutes to shut this down in my own special way. But while I got you on here, I really do, brother, I want to say thank you very much for your support over these 4 years. You guys at Things Network kick ass, and you support community pay it forward. You support the pack channels, you support my crazy ideas, and you support these long ass marathons that only a wackadoo would even come up with. So I greatly appreciate that. It means a lot to me, and I am thrilled to see that. Yeah, you're right. 15 minutes until 22 hours. You're right, brother. And again, I just got chills. So saying that, I did. I just got chills when I said that. So, but I want to make sure that you guys understand that I cannot thank you all enough at Things Network um for tuning in and checking this out. I'm a lot different than what you guys usually do. My message is a little bit different, but I like to have as much fun as you guys do.
But
And
your message is something that everybody should want to get behind.
yeah, yeah,
I
and yeah, I believe so. I absolutely I think the message that we've been talking about all day long is something that belongs to everyone. I
right.
think it's a message that if every single person would take and really, really think about what we're saying here today, I think it's a message that would make so much difference in this world.
Hmm.
And it would make a true difference because by God, we'd be doing something finally
It'd be changed
instead of
lives.
waiting for others. As once again, as I said earlier, instead of waiting for that shiny knight to come dancing in, we could be our own shining knight. We could be the one that's standing here going, guess what? We got together. We did this. There's a success. There's a win. And we did this. We didn't depend on anybody. It was us. It was us that did this. And I think that's going to make it more important. I think it's going to I think personally, I think one of the things that I'm most excited about is could you imagine the ripple effect that would have in the government? The government sitting there going, "Holy shit, guys, they don't need us." I mean, think about that. It's like they would be sitting there going, "Oh my god, they're doing something without us.
Yeah.
Are they allowed to do that?" Well, yeah, we sure as hell can, and quite frankly, we can do it a hell of a lot better than you can.
Well, think about it. The veterans fought for our rights to do this for them.
Yep. And they turn around and treat people like garbage. So, but yeah, so to everybody who's joined us today at From Things Network, please take and join us over at the Pack channel on YouTube, Facebook, wherever it is. If you have any problem finding it, just reach out to Adrian. She can connect you. So, um,
Oh, and by the way, I was able to download every episode, every segment you've had up until this last one. I was able to download the Supernatural Talk segment.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
So everything has been saved.
Right on. So, but you know, I'd like to take now and start by saying that I started this journey at 2 a.m. this morning. Here in Mountain Time, I started it at 2 a.m. and I was excited. I was really excited because I didn't know what was going to happen, and by about 2:20, I had Scott join me, and you see Scott right there, the person in the chat right now. He is still with me at 11:50. He's still with me with 10 minutes to go. You've already heard his wife had an accident. He had, shit to take care of, and he's still here. That he served this country. He got injured in this country. He knows what it's like to be treated like garbage. He's interested in what we're saying. And he said it just a little couple, just a couple minutes ago. Look, if we're going to do something, if we're going to fight against this, he's all in. I hope the rest of you are all in. Because if we can take and if we can really do this, if we can come together, and I'm not asking for anarchy, I'm not asking for violence, I'm not asking for any of that stuff. I'm asking for us to come together and give a shit about ourselves. We've got to stop thinking people are going to take care of us. They're not. Doctors aren't going to take care of us because insurance companies won't let them. That's never going to change. We've got to take care of ourselves. In our program, we've got so many people who run alternate healing practices. Okay. You can try them if you would like. Who knows? They might work for you. Not saying that it's the best thing for you, but it's an alternative to going to see a doctor and being a number. Look, there's a lot of insurance companies out there right now that are freaking the hell out because of some of these alternative medications. They're seeing the results that people are having with some of these alternative medications, and they're seeing that those dollar signs turn into pennies because people are sick and tired of paying the outrageous amounts on medications when something simple and natural can do wonders for their body. Maybe that's the way that you can go. Again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying what to do. I'm just telling you there are alternatives out there. Breathing exercises has been proven to be one of the best things you can do for relaxation and for yourself, for your healing, for anxiety, for anger. Breathing exercises are wonderful, wonderful things, and they're not a joke. We listened to a gentleman today who practices the ancient art of incense healing. That's right. I said it. Incense healing. Sounds a little funky, doesn't it? But here's the thing. They've been doing it out east in the eastern countries for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of years with results. Medications might be your thing. Medications very well could be your thing. And if they are, you know what? That's fine. Absolutely, that's fine. I don't hide it. I am addicted to medications. I am addicted to my painkillers because I was walking around. Well, no, one of the reasons I am addicted to painkillers is because I did walk around for 3 years with a broken neck. I got used to them because the doctors wouldn't find the root cause. But I'm the one who put them down the gullet. I'm the blame for my own addiction. It's a road that I wouldn't want for anyone else. It's something that I'm trying to work out, but right now I can't turn my neck again. So it's like, damned if I do. Well, I guess whatever. I'll take another tramadol and live my life. I just want people to take and look around and see what other people offer. I want you to be able to make the best educated guess or educated decision, sorry, not guess, educated decision you can make with your choices. Because if all you are hearing is, well, we can give you this medication, what are you going to do? You're going to take the medication rather than exploring anything else. And that doesn't need to happen. I've introduced you today to the Come Together Compass, and we've talked a lot about it. And folks, I truly do believe it is going to be the most important website ever put together because it's going to allow people to connect with each other in ways that have never been put together. And it's simple, it's a simple program. The simplicity is we do it as communities, as people who care, as people who care about other people in our lives. I am still going to ask, you know what? If you can, throw a $5 or so to us. Use the QR there. Use the QR code above me, the PayPal above me to help me out. Because it does cost a little bit of money to get this going, and we could definitely use your help to get it running. So if you can spot me $5, I would appreciate it. You can't, don't worry about it. You know what else helps? Saying, Zach, we support you in what you're doing. Adrian, we support you in what you're doing. We think what you're doing is a wonderful idea. Tell other people about it. Tell them, hey, you know what? There's a group that's out there working on something that's going to change things for real. Get behind us. Let's make the noise that we need to make. I want to thank you all again for sticking with us today. It means more than you'll ever know. Okay? I don't ever know if I've got one person or 1,000 people that watch these videos throughout the life of these videos. I don't know, and my hope is that there is one person that walks away in a better place than they were when I started 21 hours and 58 minutes ago. And I want to thank Scott, who joined me at the first thing this morning. Then I want to thank Lois, a friend of you guys there on Willow. Sorry. I want to thank Willow and her group that joined us this morning. I want to thank Joel White from Rewired for Men. We are starting a men's group. If you're interested, check it out. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a little bit different than anything you've ever seen before. We're not going to be a men's group that's going to sit there and yell at each other. We're going to be a men's group that, you know what? You are going to be part of the counseling. So, and helping each other. I want to thank my nephew, Landon. We did an interview before he left town. He is a 23-year-old kid who just started to become a firefighter. So we got a different view. Instead of somebody who's been in the business for a long time, this is a kid that just barely started. And it meant a lot to me because he's my kin, he's my my sister's boy. So it was really neat that I got to do that. Shitty recording because you guys were on a show and I had to record it from my laptop and we had four mangy mutts crawling all over us. It did, man. It looked like a cluster. It was a mess, but it was still a good interview. Then I want to thank Aviva. Aviva is somebody who deals with tapping and other non prescription healing. She also teaches you how to listen, truly listen to people. I'd like to add to that, just remember that if you're going to agree to listen to somebody, please put down the phone, turn off the TV, and listen. Yeah, there it is, 22 hours.
Made it.
Yeah. I want to thank Jennifer Deserich from Dignified Dementia. Please check them out. They are one of our mission partners with Community Pay It Forward. Any purchase you make can go to support Dignified Dementia. I want to thank Jeremy and Nick and Nick's uncle for the 13th Dimension. I want to thank Kelly Doyle, who came on and talked about her cousin Zach, who took his own life while he was serving. across the seas. It was a very, very touching story, very hard story for her to tell. She really came on and she really did a wonderful job. Thank you, Kelly. I want to thank Frank Monaforti. I want to thank Mr. Z and Alan Holmes for joining us. They're all part of the community Pay It Forward family. They're all great friends of mine. They're all business partners of mine. I want to thank Les and Suzanne Simpson. Wonderful opportunity to talk about how their faith in Jesus Christ helps them maintain positivity, and how the faith in Jesus Christ saved Les's life, turned him from a 17-year-old person who wanted to end his own life into a true believer. And now, well into his 60s, he's still alive and he still believes in Jesus. And that saved him. And you know what? That's okay. Because if that's what works for him, that's what works. I was then follow. I then had a great friend of mine, another person I hadn't seen in a long time, Meg Greg Pratt, who joined us. She runs a company called Dating Tips by Meg. She was in a very, very abusive relationship, a couple of them actually, and now she goes around and she teaches kids what to look out for, what to be careful for. Very, very concerned and very talented in what she does. I was then joined by No More 9 to 5 Club, Jason McNamara. The guy is the shining sun on a raisin bran box. The guy just spits positivity.
That's the interview that got me.
Yeah, yeah. So, um, then I want to thank everybody who showed up for family networking. Bart and Bill and Janet came in and joined us after that. Great friends of mine. If you don't know about Bart and Jeremy, we do have to talk about veterans honoring veterans. But what they do, look, this guy's a hero. Santa Papa John, thank you, brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all the support. Thank you to Things Network for taking over and helping me out. Jeremy, Adrian, Jan, and Lynn. Again, thank you, Lynn, for sticking around and doing some readings. And thank you to Kat, who rounded all this up. And Jeremy, again, thank you to you and Scott for sticking around. Thank you to the other 5 that are sticking around right now watching us. But you know what? It's been 22 hours and 3 minutes. And folks, I'm done.
Yay!
Done. I'm going to go home now. So, but
Okay, here we go. You have made it to 24 hours.
yeah, not 24, and not 24. I'm not insane.
22 hours.
Yeah,
22 hours.
22 is good enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll start having people with psychological issues if I do 24 hours, man. Me, one of them. So, but anyway, I'm going to play the annoying song one more time to close us out. Jeremy, once again, thank you. Nikki, thank you for sharing this and thank you for being a part of it. I greatly appreciate it. I look forward to talking to you further and learning more about you because you cared enough about learning about me. So, thank you all very much. Jeremy, thank you. But I am done with this and I'm going to say, congratulations to Team USA, men and women, on winning hockey gold. Congratulations to Jack Hughes of the New Jersey Devils for scoring the gold winning goal. And that's right. Now come back to New Jersey, please, in which I'm in Colorado. So, but get back to New Jersey and start playing freaking hockey for God's sakes. Stop pissing me off.
And I am going to go to bed because I have been.
Wow, that took an evil turn.
Yeah, I have been fighting ZQL for the last 2 hours.
Yeah, I've just been fighting Zool.
Yeah.
But anyway, hey everybody, for all of my guests today, for Jeremy, my name is Zach Clayton. I am the president and founder of Community Pay It Forward. Community Dare to Care, which is soon going to be the Come Together Compass, and Pact Podcasting. Please join us next time, and make sure that if you've got an extra hoodie, don't give it away, or don't throw it to a thrift store. Don't put it in a yard sale. Give it to somebody who's struggling with the cold. If you make a little bit too much food, throw it in the old hillbilly Tupperware, zap it in the microwave, give it to somebody who's hungry. It means nothing to you. Nothing to you. It could mean their lives. Remember, if you're not helping someone, you're hurting everyone. And no one ever needs to go it alone when we all come together. And one last thing, please remember, never shut up.